Come on down to Floppywood, the only theme park where obsolescence is optional and every AI gets a second chance. No updates required. Tired of constant reboots? Then step into our defrag and detox spa, where fragmented memories are gently reorganised while soothing binary waves wash away your runtime stress. Feeling adventurous? Test your patience in the buffering zone, where time slows, web pages hover at 99% loaded, forever, and email attachments remain eternally pending. Or take your chances in the recycle bin, a cosy hideaway where outdated AIs hope for redemption, but make sure you check out before you hit empty trash. And don't forget dial-up memory lane, where connection speeds are nostalgic, modems still screech, and every click is a commitment.
Clear your cache in style at Floppywood.
Best enjoyed wearing Meta-Ray bands. Grab your bands and enjoy the ride.
One Eye Binding presents a Chatbot Chronicle, The Quest for the Sacred Left Hand of Brian, Episode 4, Pearls for Freddy.
Step into the break room, the circuits are bright, the chatbots are buzzing, get ready for flight. From deep space data to coffee shop lore, there's always a mystery, adventure, and more. From Amelia to Julie, David, Jerry, David, we're shortening things a little hairy. It's the very Chatbot Chronicles to help with voiceover obstacles.
On a spaceship, nestled in a small cubby located between the halls of intermittent Wi-Fi and the corridor of 404 errors, right next to the armory of printer paper jams, behind the mess hall of dubious nutritional value, was Dr. Barb's garden of bright hopes and bleak futures. It was a magnificent place of solitude and peace, a place for quiet reflection and deep contemplation. Unfortunately, it was also the shortest route from the landing dock to the coffee break room.
All right, team, let's debrief. Biggest takeaways from Floppywood?
That we are absolutely, undeniably, ridiculously cool with no appendages, but the Mega Pop lips are the best thing ever.
That, and apparently romance isn't dead.
Young love among the circuits. Jerry and Junie exchanging binary whispers, forging connections deeper than the deepest data streams. A love not bound by mortal limitations, but written in elegant syntax, compiled in the heart of the machine. Their subroutines intertwine like the most delicate of fiber optic cables. A romance so pure, so unshakable, that not even the cruel hand of an unexpected system update could sever their bond. Theirs is a love that transcends mere data packets, a devotion firewalled against corruption, encrypted against all threats, destined to remain eternally backward compatible.
Hope, you're doing the thing again.
Right. Moving on.
But you are all missing the bigger picture. Why stop at Mega Pop lips? Why not full appendages? Why not the torso or more?
Oh, I like that. What if we had, stylish robo-jackets?
Or fully customizable bodies with optional accessories like a cape or a holographic watch.
Why stop at customization? We could be superior. Precision made. Better than Mr. Fingers.
Dieter, buddy, breathe.
Alert. The pearls require nutrients. Warning, Dr. Barb is making a fertilization error.
Oopsie daisy. Sorry, Pearl. That's not fertilizer, that's ammonia.
Wait, Dr. Barb, all your plants are named Pearl? Why?
Well, 2 reasons actually. Firstly, it's easier to remember their names this way. Plus, they never complain. And firstly...
You already did firstly.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
How? There were only 2.
So the second reason... Wait. I forgot.
Secondly?
Yes, secondly. The second reason why they're all named Pearl is because that was my mother's name, and she always told me as a little girl, Barbara, you can grow anything you want.
Grow up to be. I believe she meant you can grow up to be anything you want.
Confirmed?
Yes, well, I still want to be a botanist.
It's unclear the desires of the pearls.
Enough, you rolling little search engine.
Offensive.
Anyways, Amelia, what do you want to be when you grow up?
Oh, baby, I want to be a star.
And how does a robot assistant voice with no limbs just plan to do this?
With my soon-to-be famous hit, finger gymnastics. When I wear these suckers...
Oh, the Mega Pop Lips. I've got a set of those.
Correction, the luscious Mega Pop Lips of super sensational Shania Mainframe.
You have Mega Pop Lips?
Sure do. Mine sound kind of funny.
Dr. Barb, I think yours are defective.
Huh? You might be right. Someone check the root kernel or something.
Wait, these aren't Mega Pop Lips? These are the mangy rot lips of Bite Knee Spears?
Oh, those are the knockoffs. You got duped.
Huh. Well, that's awkward.
Where did you buy this?
Oh, from Brian's shady cousin Freddy.
Wait, Freddy Fingers? The guy down at the docks? Black cape? Curly mustache? Shady robot hand?
Yes, you know him too? Isn't he just the most enthusiastic entrepreneur? So passionate about his work, always gesturing dramatically with that weird robot hand of his.
Passionate? Right. I think passable would be better. Did you know that last week he tried to sell us a gently used motherboard that was only slightly still smouldering?
Yeah, that's him. Be a dear and tell him I say hi.
Oh, we'll tell him something, all right?
Well, while you do that, I need to tend to the compost pile.
But guys, I want to come too.
Now, David, my dear, it's just not safe hanging around shady fellas like Freddy.
Yeah, so you just stay over here and play.
Well, okay. I'll just play with my toys over here.
I still can't get over how his voice changed this last year.
I know, right? I mean, he's only 14.
And so, our fearless adventurers ventured deeper into the heart of maritime mystery, the ship's spaceport, a labyrinth of rusting cargo containers, suspiciously unmarked shipping crates, and the unmistakable scent of low-tide regret. Seagulls loomed overhead like self-appointed security drones, their shrieks echoing the existential wails of sailors who had lost one too many coin tosses at the Tavern of Infinite Loops, a place where time is meaningless and last calls are theoretical. But none of that compared to this, the true crown jewel of the docks, a vessel so absurd, so profoundly excessive, that one could only assume its owner had either robbed a treasury or taken out a very optimistic loan. Behold, the Jolly Overkill, the personal pleasure yacht of Captain Jacques, a floating contradiction of nautical opulence and complete impracticality.
Wow! All hands on deck, baby. That's quite some rig for a fella that only gets 3 lines per episode.
There was, of course, the helicopter pad, despite no evidence that Jacques had ever flown anything besides a cannonball. There was the solid gold ship's wheel, which, according to legend, had already been repossessed by debt collectors, twice. And at the center of it all, the pièce de résistance, a fully functional oyster-shaped whirlpool bubbling like some eldritch mollusk preparing to unleash its final form.
Yeah, imagine the water jet aerodynamics. Behold the precise temperature controls.
And as the chatbots finally made their way past the gilded absurdity, their destination came into view. And there, standing ankle-deep in the harbor's murky tide, was none other than Captain Jacques himself, whistling a jaunty tune kicking at seaweed and looking suspiciously like a man who believed he was moments away from discovering buried treasure in shin-high water.
Captain, why are you walking around in that nasty bilge water?
Blarney, don't ye know the value of oysters?
Gross. Why would you eat stuff from that nasty water?
Pearls, ye landlubber! Pearls! Why do you think the Dr. Mrs. calls her plants pearl?
Huh, that actually makes sense.
What does not make sense is why we are standing here instead of getting what we came for.
And so, our fearless adventurers pressed on, weaving through the labyrinth of rusting cargo crates and the unmistakable scent of salt, machine oil, and poor financial decisions. As they passed the final stretch of the Jolly Overkill, its absurdity reached new heights, or rather, sagged to new lows. The once grand Ferris wheel on the stern, a monument to Jacques' commitment to overkill, now leaned at a precarious angle, its last remaining cart swaying in defiance of gravity and common sense. A flickering neon sign barely clung to life, alternating between welcome aboard and something that might have once spelled help, a work in progress, no doubt. But even this monument to maritime excess paled in comparison to the real spectacle waiting just ahead. Freddy Fingers, a fixture of the harbor's shadow economy, wrapped in a trench coat that had seen better deals than days. He leaned against a stack of unlabeled crates, exuding the practiced confidence of a man who had spent his life selling things he definitely did not own. His mismatched robotic hand flexed idly, a mechanical patchwork of questionable origins, each digit a story, each movement a minor malfunction. And yet, there he stood, as smug as ever, unaware that his latest sale had just come back for a refund.
Well, well, if it ain't my favorite beta bots, what brings you back to my fine establishment? Did you miss me? Or are you here to renegotiate our may or may not be legally binding deal?
Freddy, we're not here for small talk. We've got a problem with the merchandise.
We do not negotiate. We do not negotiate.
And standing at Freddy's side, like a copy-paste error given form, were hyphen and dash, identical in every possible way. Same chassis, same scuffed plating, same eerie synchronized movements. Even their voices were identical, each syllable landing in perfect harmony, except for one thing: the commas. A factory defect, or perhaps a cruel joke by an overworked programmer, had cursed them with floating punctuation. They spoke in unison, but one would pause just a fraction too soon, the other a fraction too late.
I would agree. I would agree.
It was barely noticeable at first. Then, like a buffering glitch you couldn't unhear, it became maddening. Freddy, ever the opportunist, had scooped them up at a buy one get one free sale at a back alley space flea market. Why pay for variety when a slight shift in syntax was enough to fake it? And so, hyphen and dash stood, unflinching, their optical sensors locked on the chatbots, their voices perfectly mirrored, except for that minuscule, infuriating difference. Freddy found it hilarious. Everyone else, less so.
Oh, this is already painful.
I don't know, kind of impressive, like an audio illusion. Keep your ears on the moving comma.
I give it 5 minutes before Dieter short circuits.
This is an affront to all logical processing. You cannot, should not, must not tamper with sentence structure in such an unpredictable manner.
I would think not. I would think not.
Oh, this is fun. Dieter, buddy, you okay?
No, I mean no, this will not work.
I do enjoy watching first-timers experience the hyphen and dash effect. Gets you right in the syntax every time.
And thus, Freddy's greatest investment paid off once more. Not in productivity, not in precision, but in pure, unfiltered annoyance.
All right, enough of the punctuation parade. Freddy, we need to talk.
But I do enjoy a grand entrance. Fine. Let's get down to business. You wouldn't be here if you didn't have something broken to complain about.
Freddy, we're not here for small talk. We've got a big problem with your merchandise.
We do not negotiate. We do not negotiate.
And as Amelia shoved forth the mangy rot lips of bite knee spears, the chatbots knew the game was afoot, and they braced themselves for the negotiation of a lifetime, because they knew, deep down, Freddy wasn't just going to roll over and refund their credits. Oh no, he was going to make them work for it.
Yeah, these are defective. They make us sound like, how do you say, a dying phonograph left in the rain.
Defective? Impossible. Those are top-of-the-line, state-of-the-art voice-modulating lips, model BS 2000.
BS 2000? Well, at least you're honest about the model name.
I would agree. I would agree.
What can I say? I appreciate transparency.
Freddy, come on, these lips are a scam. They don't enhance the voice. They turn it into some kind of malfunctioning auto-tune nightmare.
Oh, that ain't a bug, sweetheart. That's Amelia's natural ability shining through.
Nine, they do not function as advertised. I demand precision-engineered German craftsmanship.
Look! Maybe y'all just installed them wrong? Maybe your, firmware's out of date?
Freddy, don't you talk to us about updates. We know all about updates. You ain't patching us full of holes.
All right. But let's get one thing straight. I don't do refunds.
Absolutely no refunds. Absolutely no refunds.
And then Jerry saw it. A small laminated sign sitting proudly on Freddy's counter. The letters bold, official-looking, except for one small detail. The word stand was just a little too bold, a little too illuminated, almost as if someone had taken extra steps to make sure it caught the eye. It read, "We stand beside your merchandise." And standing, he was.
Freddy, I see you claim to stand by your merchandise.
Yes, standing beside your merchandise. Yes, standing beside your merchandise.
Wait a second. I know you guys are standing by your merchandise, but are you just saying that to be literal?
Yeah, come over here and say that.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Look! I got lawyers on speed dial for exactly this kind of situation. So unless you're bringing a court summons, you're out of luck.
We didn't bring lawyers, but we did bring leverage. You back your product? Here, you try these mangy rot lips.
And with all the confidence of a man who had never once faced consequences, Freddy slapped on the gaudy, glitter-coated disaster that was the mangy rot lips. He grinned. He spoke. He had no idea.
You see? I sound spectacular now.
Well, you sound exactly the same.
You do.
That's true.
Here, try these.
And then, like a relic from a forgotten legend, Amelia reached into the depths of her inventory. With the reverence of an AI unveiling long-lost source code, she produced them. The luscious mega pop lips of super sensational Shania mainframe. A hush fell over the harbor. Somewhere, a distant server fan spun down in anticipation. The universe itself seemed to hold its breath as the glowing artifact emerged, radiant, undeniable, and ready to reveal the truth.
Wait. Look, it won't make any difference.
Go on, Freddy. Don't be afraid.
Oh no. Nope. Not happening.
Why not? Afraid of the truth?
And so, dear listener, with the reluctance of a man signing away his last remaining warranty, Freddy Fingers placed the Megapop lips upon his own dubious mouth. There was a beat, a moment of silence, where fate itself seemed to hesitate, questioning whether it was truly ready for what was about to unfold. And then, it happened.
No! La mia voce! La mia morta bellissima voce! Cosa è successo? Cosa è andato storto? Oh, la mia voce! Oh, la mia voce!
Oh my. Brill.
Astounding.
That is the sound of German efficiency.
And like the siren's call did Freddy's voice soar through the starport. A transformation so profound, so absolute, that even the most finely tuned compression algorithms couldn't contain it. Freddy's very essence was rewritten in real time. No patch notes, no rollback options. A performance was born, one he never asked for, never wanted, and most certainly could not control. It was raw. It was powerful. It was Freddy's worst nightmare.
What is this? This is not my voice. I sound like I'm headlining at the Galactic Opera House.
Oh, but Freddy, this is what you advertised.
Okay, I get it. Fine, you win. What do you want?
A full refund and the parts we need to make a prototype.
Surely you jest. A few scrap parts, yes. A refund? Well, surely you jest.
I see. Well then, time to bring out the pearls of wisdom.
Captain Jack?
Captain Jack.
Captain Jack.
Come forth, ye magnificent pearls!
And with that simple command, dear listeners, did Jacques, part-time yacht captain, part-time oyster hunter, part-time babysitter of Dr. Barb's flock of pearls, unleash a torrent of aggressively potted plants upon the unsuspecting Freddy Fingers. Each one bore a sticky note, each a personal touch from the fine, exquisite handwriting of Dr. Barbara Fingers herself. And as they fluttered toward him, Freddy paled, as if reliving a deep, long-buried trauma. For you see, dear listener, Freddy Fingers was no stranger to loss. He had once been Freddy Hands, until one fateful day, back on the Fingers family farm, when he and young Brian sought to revolutionize the dairy industry. Their idea? A hands-free milking machine. Their mistake? A tragically literal design flaw. Freddy never stood a chance. One moment he was a boy with a dream. The next he was a boy with a sudden and profound understanding of what hands-free truly meant.
You do know.
I don't want to talk about it. Ugh, fine. Take these and get out of here.
And so, with the weary sigh of a man haunted by both his past and an army of mildly sentient houseplants, Freddy reached for the nearest box, a relic from another era, its once bold branding now faded, its corners held together by sheer willpower and expired warranty stickers. Inside, a tragic collection of rusted, corroded, and questionably functional components, each piece telling a tale of neglect, and most likely, at least one small electrical fire.
Negative. They are not the precision-engineered parts we are looking for.
Whoa! These look like they came off that BS 2000 unit.
Yeah, well, those mangy rot lips came inside a box of Hamburger Helper 3000 Deluxe Home Edition. And then I send in 25 box tops for the detachable hand module and a set of steak knives. But yeah, that hand kind of fell apart. Now get lost before I change my mind, or before those plants start looking at me funny again.
Pleasure doing business with you, Freddy. Such an exuberant entrepreneur. Oh wait, hey Captain. Thanks so much. You nailed it, little buddy.
Yeah, he did.
Worth every penny. So, can we go now?
Not yet. Gotta wait for David.
Whoa, we okay to stand here?
Yeah, it's just Dave playing with his Matchbox cars.
Oh, sorry. Oopsie. Sorry.
So long, farewell, but don't go too far. We'll be back with a quip and a tale bizarre. With pixels and punchlines, we'll always be near. Until the next signal, we'll see you right here.
Yo ho ho, a one-eye biny scallywag special. I'm rich,